in this clip I'll talk about how to prepare for the Level 1 exam using IFT material. As I'm sure you know, the Level 1 exam is based on the CFA program curriculum, which I'll simply be calling the curriculum, and the IFT material is also based on the curriculum. So it makes sense to spend a few minutes understanding the strengths and weaknesses of the curriculum. Let's start with the strengths. The curriculum is one of the best introductions to finance that you will find anywhere. It is rigorous and comprehensive. The examples in the curriculum are very good. Not only do they help you prepare for the exam, but they also give you a real-world context. At the end of every reading in the curriculum, there are practice problems, and these practice problems are a good indication of what you will see on the actual exam. And here is a central point. Ultimately, your exam is going to be based purely on the curriculum. So those who make the exam look only at the curriculum and they will not be considering any other material. And this means that your preparation has to ultimately be based on the curriculum. Now let's look at the weaknesses. The curriculum is long-winded and at times difficult to read. In fact, the curriculum has 3,000 plus pages. This is at Level 1. And most students have trouble going over this much material. The examples are good, but at times the examples are extremely detailed, and the solutions also are presented in a manner which will not work for you on the exam. So there will be cases where there is a long explanation and there are detailed calculations which help you understand the concept, but if you follow the same process on your exam, there is no way that you will be done on time. So you need to recognize that. Another issue is that the curriculum does not have enough practice problems. So now the question is, how do we leverage the strengths of the curriculum and at the same time address the weaknesses? And this is where IFT comes in. So let us consider the products and services offered by IFT. We start with the video lectures. These are our most popular offering, and in over 70 hours of detailed video lectures, I cover all the important points in the curriculum. What is special about these video lectures is that they are carefully aligned with the curriculum. So I have gone through every section in the curriculum and highlighted the most testable points. And many students find that after listening to these video lectures, they can understand the curriculum very easily. Next we come to IFT notes. Now, as with the videos, these notes summarize the most important points in the curriculum. Some people like to listen to videos, other people like to read, some people like to do both. So what the notes do is offer you an opportunity to read the most important points in the curriculum. Now, I still want you to have the curriculum open when you are either listening to the videos or when you are reading the notes, because sometimes the notes do not give you enough detail. And if you want to dig in deeper, then you should always have the curriculum available in front of you. Also, as I said earlier, the curriculum has very good examples. So even though there are examples in the notes, I would want you to also try to attempt the questions and the examples in the curriculum. Example videos. So what I have done here is created videos explaining the examples in the curriculum. Now ideally you should work through the examples and figure them out, but as I said earlier, at times the examples are very long-winded and somewhat complicated, so these videos will help you with those examples. The question bank. Here we offer 3,000 plus MCQ questions which are in an exam format. Now, over the course of your study, you should have done all these questions. These MCQs are organized on a reading by reading basis and also on a learning outcome basis. So what we've done is taken each learning outcome and created questions against those learning outcomes. and this helps ensure that our question bank gives you a comprehensive coverage of all the learning outcomes in the curriculum. The question bank is at a reading level. So in other words, for every reading, there will be a set of questions. We also offer topic quizzes, which means that when you are done with a given topic, such as quantitative methods, you will get a quiz on that topic. So this checks your mastery at the topic level. Summary videos. Now, in these videos, I summarize the most important points in every reading. The idea here is that a given reading might be, let's say, 30 to 50 pages long, and my regular video lecture might cover this in, let's say, 45 minutes to 90 minutes, depending on the length of the reading. But all readings have a few central points that have the highest probability of being tested. And those are the central points that I cover in the summary videos. And here I use the 80-20 rule, which means that 20% of the material has an 80% probability of being tested. So the summary videos are short. On average, they are about 15 to 20 minutes per reading. And in these summary videos, I cover the most important points. Mock exams. Now these are full-length mock exams that you need to do in the final few weeks before your actual exam. Q&A with IFT. This is your opportunity to interact with IFT. So if in going through the curriculum or the IFT material you have any questions, you can reach out to IFT. What we do here is set up a closed group on LinkedIn, and you post your questions on the group, and then an IFT instructor addresses your questions. The benefit of this method is that not only do you get your questions answered, but you can also see the questions that others are asking, and then obviously the responses to their questions. So you now have a sense for the various products and services offered by IFT. Now let's talk about how to actually study for the exam. Shown here is the high-level process. You need to define a schedule. You then obviously need to study and practice. This helps you build your concepts. For those who do not have a prior finance background, it makes sense to do a second review and practice. And then in the final few weeks, you should review all the material again and do more practice. Let's go through each of these steps in detail. Step 1 is to define your schedule. Now this is essential. Now to help you with the schedule, you can use a document that is shared by IFT. So in this document, we list all the readings and then the video lectures for those readings along with the approximate time duration. So this will give you a sense for the length of each reading. What you need to do here is define your review date. So you need to say that, okay, by so and so date I will have done the reading. And then also we feel that these curriculum practice questions are extremely important. So in my definition, a reading is done when you've also done the practice questions from the curriculum. So define that, and if you want, you can also keep track of your status. This is an Excel file that you can maintain for yourself. So you need to define the schedule. Many students ask about how long will it take them to prepare for level 1, and there is no standard answer. The amount of time depends on your background and situation. So obviously, if you have a strong background in finance, let's say that you have a bachelor's degree in finance or a master's degree in finance, so then you will have seen most of the level 1 content. In that case, you might even be able to do this whole course in 3 to 4 months. On the other hand, if you have not done finance before, then you should probably plan on spending between 9 and 12 months. So I know that there is a huge variation over here, but that is based on your background. Also, some people are working full-time, so for them the planning needs to be over a longer time duration. others are between jobs or haven't started their job yet, and they can spend a lot more time studying. So you really need to figure out your situation and define your schedule. But regardless of how long you are taking, you must leave time at the end for your final review and practice. That is because this curriculum is so extensive that you will definitely forget material, and you need to have time at the end where you not only revise your material but also do lots of practice. And the practice at the end should include the mock exams that I talked about earlier. Another point is that if you are a student with no finance background, so let's say you studied another discipline and now want to pursue the CFA program, CFA Institute lets you do that. So if you have an undergrad degree in history, you can still come and study for the CFA program. If you don't have a finance background, I strongly encourage you to cover the material at least twice before the final review. So build that into your planning. Another point is about how much time to leave at the end. Now again, this depends on how much time you are taking. So if you are the sort of person who has a finance background and are doing your studies in 3 to 4 months, then 2 to 3 weeks at the end should be enough for the final review and practice. On the other hand, if you are taking a much longer time, then you also need to budget in more time for the final review and practice. So it really depends again on your situation. Next we come to the study and practice phase. So this actually is your main exercise. The defining a schedule will just take a day or two, but most of your time here is in study and practice. The most important point here is to develop your concepts. So for a given reading, you can develop the concept by going over the curriculum. So take a reading like time value of money, which is the first reading in quantitative methods. You could read the curriculum, or you could go over IFT videos, or you can do IFT notes, or you can do a combination of the above. Now, I would suggest that you try all these and figure out what works best for you. But the key is that you stick to your schedule and also make notes. Now, different people operate in different ways. Many people find it difficult to read the curriculum. Now, you might be one of those people. There are others who actually find it easy to go through the curriculum. So you really need to figure out where you are. Most people benefit a lot by listening to the videos because these emphasize the most important points. So again, I would strongly recommend that you do the videos. If you want a summarized version of what's in the curriculum, then you read IFT notes. As you do this, I strongly encourage you to make your own notes, because when you are revising, it is easier to do so from your own notes. You can actually make these notes on the IFT slides. So when you buy our videos, you get access to our slides. I would encourage you to print those slides, and then as you read the curriculum or as you listen to the videos, make notes on those slides. I also encourage you to learn actively. What this means is that, let's say you are going through section 3.1, I've explained a concept, and then there is a curriculum example. I want you to work through that example. Similarly, there are IFT examples, and also work through those examples. If you don't understand, read the solutions. If you don't understand the solutions very well, then you can listen to the videos. So make sure that you do your own working as you go through a particular reading. At the end of a reading, do the practice problems in the curriculum. Our question bank also is organized by readings, so you can work through the question bank questions. Once you are done with a given topic such as quantitative methods, then do the topic quiz. If you log on to the CFA Institute website, there you will also find online assessments. These assessments are at a topic level. So these 2 points, the practice problems and question bank, these are at a reading level, and these 2 are at a topic level. Many students find that when they have covered a given topic and move to another topic, they tend to forget things that are done in the past. So I would encourage you to set up a review cycle. Perhaps at the end of every month, you spend a couple of days going back and reviewing your notes from earlier topics. That will help ensure that you retain material that you have covered earlier. As I said before, you have to stay on schedule. So you had defined your schedule over here. Let's say that for a given reading, you said that you will be done by a certain date. Now, make sure that you meet your deadlines, because if you fall behind, then that will compromise how much time you can spend on future readings. So if reading the curriculum is taking too much time and it's causing you to miss your schedule, then focus on the videos or just read the summary notes. But make sure that you work through questions, either the examples or the practice problems or the question bank, because until you practice questions, you won't fully understand the concepts. So make sure you get a fundamental idea of the concepts and then do practice questions to consolidate those concepts. Alright, the second review and practice. So this is in essence the first review. As I said, the second review is for those who don't have a prior background in finance. So perhaps you can finish one review of the curriculum 3 months before the exam. Then you can spend approximately 1 month in your second review and practice. The benefit here is that many of the topics are connected with each other. So the first time that you study a given topic, let's say in quantitative methods, you might not fully understand the concept. But later on, when you see something similar in corporate finance or in fixed income, then the concept will become much easier to understand. So I would strongly encourage those who don't have a strong finance background to plan a second review. And obviously this second review will also include practice. Questions that you haven't been able to attempt before can be done over here. So some people, when they do their first review, just work through the Q bank, and then during the second review they can work through the questions in the curriculum, or vice versa. In the first review they might have done practice problems from the curriculum. In the second review they can do Q bank questions. And then in the final few weeks we have our final review and practice. So you can go over your notes, you can listen to the IFT summary lectures. If there are any questions left from the curriculum or Q bank, do those. Work through the practice problems in the curriculum again, because there might be questions that you got wrong in the past and you want to do those again to make sure that you get them right the second time. Also work through the various mock exams. There are IFT mock exams. The CFA Institute also offers mock exams. I talked earlier about the online assessments, which you can find on the CFA Institute website. If you've not done those before, then do those over here. So basically, by this time, you should have done 4,000 plus practice questions. Obviously, if you've understood the concepts and done this many practice questions, the probability of your passing the exam is very high. All right, so that was a high-level review of IFT's products and services, and then how you can study. Now I would encourage you to start your preparation with IFT. You can actually begin a free trial. This will give you a sense for our material. You can choose a study package that suits you, and we offer multiple options. There are those who simply like to buy the videos, others who want videos and notes, and there are those who also want a Q&A service. So you figure out what works for you, get registered and start your studies as soon as possible. Even if you don't buy from us, you can visit our website and get lots of free resources. If you have any questions, please contact our support team. And that is it. Thank you for listening to me, and best of luck with your studies.